All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's topic of discussion. Today, we are going to be talking about how to fix a problem. Now, you're a human being, right? It's natural for you, and it's inevitable for you to be going through problems ahead of anything and everything that you need to think about. You need to think about that. Bad things are always going to happen, whether it's under your control or not. You're a human being. You're prone to make mistakes. You're prone to go through problems. And it's how you deal with those problems and how you come out of those problems is what matters. So what to do to fix a problem? How do you fix a problem? Well, you have to think about it wisely and as deep as possible. You have to think about what the problem is first. You have to understand and acknowledge that, okay, so this is a problem. This person has caused me a problem. I've caused a problem to that person. This situation is causing me problems. You have to acknowledge what it is first, and you have to understand it, and you have to understand what is going on and what it exactly is. Now, after you do that, you have to think about it deeply and from every perspective. You have to think about every outcome that problem is gonna create. You have to think about every solution. You have to think about it from different perspectives. Think about it even from the third person view, right? Take yourself out of it. Think about it as an outside person that is looking in and seeing like what is really going on, so that you can have better understanding of what to do. Because a lot of times when people go through problems, they start becoming in denial, right? Their emotions kick in, and then they start thinking based upon their emotions. They start thinking emotionally, and they start trying to basically find solutions based on their emotions, and it's wrong. You should never really act upon your emotions. You should think about things logically, and when you do, you are more able to find solutions. Now, the main problem that we talked about is emotions. You have to take emotions out of the equation. I can't stress that enough. There is no way for you to fix a problem when emotions are involved. Whether it makes you sad, whether it makes you depressed, whether it makes you unhappy, once you go through, or whether it makes you angry, once you go through that rabbit hole, it's extremely hard for you to find a very logical and very just solution, right? You're gonna start acting based on your emotions. If you're angry, you're gonna lash out and do something that you'll later regret. If you're sad, you're just gonna start overthinking. If you're depressed, you're just gonna start blaming yourself, and so on and so on. So you cannot be thinking or acting or trying to fix a problem based on your emotions. You need to take those out of the equation. And how do you do that? You need to remind yourself internally. If it's something that you don't control, just tell yourself, this is something that I don't control, that I'm trying to find a solution for. Therefore, I shouldn't be, treating myself bad over it. I shouldn't be feeling sad or unhappy or depressed over it, because it's not under my control. Now, if you were the cause of the problem and you're trying to fix it, you need to tell yourself, redeem yourself. You need to remind yourself, redeem yourself. Make it right, because you're a decent human being and you're trying to do good. And that gives you good encouragement to basically go ahead and fight the issue and fix the problem. So talking to yourself is actually a great tool to use whenever you get triggered emotionally. Whenever you get triggered emotionally, you usually feel this negative feeling, because usually negative feelings are associated with problems. And whenever you feel those feelings, those low feelings or dark and gloomy or painful feelings, you have to remind yourself and you have to talk to yourself. That's one way that I use personally that has helped me greatly to become more wise and more understanding and a better decision maker and a better problem solver as well. Talk to yourself. It's very, very important. Tell yourself, seek redemption. Tell yourself that. Seek redemption. Try to make it right. Try to do the good things. Try to basically just flip the situation as much as possible, and to make it better. And as a man, it's not wrong for you to say I'm sorry, for example. It's actually very, very honorable, respectful, and should be extremely appreciated for you to say sorry as a man, and to truly mean it, to truly and genuinely mean it, if you are really trying to seek redemption. And not just say sorry, but actually act on it. And sometimes it takes a lot of time. Sure, take your time, just keep on applying that pressure to make it right, and it should be good. And as a woman, I know society, puts you on a pedestal and you don't need to take accountability for nothing, or a lot of women don't at least, but it would be very good for you as a woman to take accountability for your actions and to actually try to seek redemption as well. It goes both ways. It's always good for a human being that is trying to be a good person or a better person to actually seek redemption for the mistakes that they've done, because after all, we're all human beings. We're all going to make mistakes, but it's how you deal with those mistakes is what matters, right? Now, if you're a bad person, obviously you're just not going to care and just going to leave the problem escalate and just get out of hand, and you don't care who you cause pain to. And if it's a situational problem, then you shouldn't think about it emotionally at all. I can't stress that enough. The solution and the fix to every problem is logic, right? Not emotions. It's logic, and it's wisdom, and it's self-thought, and like the depth of perception and thought. If you sit within yourself and you actually speak to yourself and you tell yourself, this is wrong, this is right, and this is what I need to do, then you'll actually manage to do these things without having any emotions involved, and you'll actually manage to fix any situation ahead of you. Now, if it's something that broke that you think has no solution or no fix to, then at the very least you did your part. At the very least you tried. At the very least you kept trying to redeem yourself. And the effort alone is a good way for you to redeem yourself. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. You did everything that is under your control, that you're capable of doing, to make it right. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, right? It's no longer under your control. The very important part is that you do what you can. As a person, you do what you can if you were the cause of the problem. If you weren't the cause of the problem, it's very important. Let's say a person hurt you. It's very important to not bring them down for it, or lash out, or be aggressive, or just fight them verbally, fight them mentally, because that's not really going to accomplish anything for you. That's not going to solve any issues that you might have. That's not going to make you feel better. It's just going to make you feel more sad. You're going to feel more terrible about yourself even. So it's very wrong for you to just attack that person in any way possible for the pain that they've caused you. Now, the right-minded people what the right-minded people would do would probably be is to just lay it all out, right? Sit them down, talk with them, tell them, hey, you know what, like, you caused this and this and this this much pain to me, or you've made these problems escalate or get out of hand, or you've caused this problem for me. I need you to fix it, and I need you to redeem yourself, and I also need you to, like, think of me as a human being as well, that you've made, or that you've caused that problem to. And therefore they'd have a better understanding that this person is just super wise, this person is super intelligent. Now, of course, it's not all like green and red like that, right? That's not how the world works usually, but at the very end, you're doing your part. If other human beings fail to be on the same level as you are, at the very least you did your part. And if they don't, after your understanding and after your depth of thought, and after you've sat them down and talked with them about the problem, and they're still not fixing it, then you simply walk away from it. There's nothing else you can do, because they're just going to keep causing you problems. Now, there are a ton of problems. A situational problem, just problems at work, for example, problems anywhere, right? Tiny little obstacles that human beings go through every day. The most important part, talk to yourself, apply necessary practices within your own mindset to think about things logically. So I provided you with many tools, right? Like the tool to talk to yourself, that's very important. The tool to actually draw your emotions out of it so that you can think logically about things, and that in that way you can find better solutions. The tool to actually perceive it from different angles. Take yourself out of it, right? When you're thinking about it, look at the problem from an outside point of view, as if you're not that person that's dealing with the problem, as if you're a person that is looking into two people having problem, or a person in a situation going through a problem. That way you can better understand what is the right thing to do, because let's say, put yourself in the other person's position, right? That's another way you can handle it. Put yourself in the other person's position. What would you want to happen? What would the right thing be that you would want to come out of it? And those are just some great ways for you to handle and fix problems. It's not hard. You just have to clear your mind. You cannot cloud your mind with these negative emotional thoughts, because then you won't have a clear mind. You won't think about things in a straight manner, and you won't think about right or wrong. You'll just think about yourself. And if you are the one going through the pain of a problem, then okay, like, I can feel for you that you are excused to feel about it some type of way, but it's not going to make it right, because you are going to make wrong decisions or cause that problem to expand through your negative emotions. And with that being said, I hope that helped. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you find any value in the content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later with another topic of discussion. Okay?